So moving on to other topics. So, Toyin Lawani's husband, Segun Wealth, recently explained why he moved into his wife's mansion. According to him, his wife owns a big mansion with a vast space, and that she is not ready to leave her luxurious home to come and stay with him in a 3-bedroom apartment. So do you agree with him? Is there any big deal in a husband moving into his wife's house after marriage? Does our culture support this idea, or does it work against it? What are your thoughts on this? As always, we don't want to talk about Toyin Lawani or Segun Wealth. Our focus is on the issue of a man saying, because my wife has this lovely, luxurious house and home, it makes better sense for me to move in with her. Or do you think, because you're an African man and you're a Nigerian man, what would Kaye Sokwe that you enter your wife's house? That shouldn't it be that she, even no matter how rich, come to your own level and live with you? Isn't that the right thing to do? What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, because we are still back to the issue of listening to what people will say and what society will say. And I believe culture is a way of life. There's a general culture, but as you have a family, you have a home, you start creating your own culture and what works for you. I remember when I got married and my husband said, my father has a very big house in Lagos. I'm not going to rent a house when we have a house. It will be a waste of money. I want to gather my money so that I can build my own. I don't want to be paying for rent, and by the time the kids come, I start paying fees, rent, everything. It will be too much. If I can sort out rent, 50% of my problem in Lagos is over. So what happened? I got a job, and the job gave me an apartment. And my husband moved, swallowed his pride, moved and stayed with me in that cubicle. And today, we are better for it. So people would always walk...
better for it. How many houses do you have?
I don't want to mention that on live TV. But people need to start taking the steps that work for them, not what society has said. A man is a man irrespective. Can I love you? Can I respect you? Can I give you that honor? Can I be submissive to you? That's what makes you a man. Not whether you are staying in my house or I'm staying in your house. For God's sake, are we not one? It's our house. Once we're married, it's our house.
Let me come to you. What are your thoughts on this?
Okay, so first of all, he has done the almost un-Nigerian thing. Because what we would normally hear is that there is fire on the mountain because this man has refused to move into mansion and he wants our glamorous, glamazon, lady to move into this 3-bedroom flat that sometimes water comes, sometimes electricity, So he has done what many people would not do and what we're not used to. And for me, it just shows a particular mindset. He seemed, maybe a lot more exposed, but also knowing the sort of person that we're talking about, that woman has built her wealth. There's a certain sort of person, too, that you would want to... you have to be a certain type of person. You have to have a certain sort of mindset to be with that woman in the first place. And you understand her work ethic, that this person is hardworking, she's a go-getter. And so when you find yourself in that place, it's not a fight of wills.
Like, we align.
So you are there, I'm here, and I'll be your support. I'll be with you in any way that you want me to support you. But, there's also this new crop of young men. And I think that's where many people go. There's a new crop of young men who eye the girls with the money. And are looking for how they can get it, So I think that is why many people would question it. Why is he doing this? Is he doing this to support her, or is he doing this because he loves her?
Let me throw this angle in, because when you marry somebody, I'll come to you, Toyin. When you marry somebody, it's not just about that person. It's about you're marrying family, to the society. So it's not just this man that's entering the house. It's the fact that the entire family will come to, so we are in the wife's house. And they come and they sit down in the house and are feeling, how comfortable now? Can I be comfortable with the way this is our wife's house? So it's the perception of how society will see, how your children also perceive you as a husband, because they feel like, this is mommy's house. And because when emotions come, there'll be times when you fight. Normal couples fight. So the woman sometimes might not throw it back. This is my house, you walk out. That happens. Your children see that. Family members see that. So these are the kinds of things that happen that people say, why would you move into your wife's house?
So I was going to say, it's like, don't let them drag you, because we not living in, we're not Europeans. We're not living in the Western world where oh, we're equal partners in this relationship,
50-50.
everything is 50-50. No, we live in a country where we are very, very intertwined with families and culture, and you cannot just come and you don't want to embarrass yourself, you know, and sometimes you cannot avoid the embarrassment that will happen because some little things, and it might not even be a direct attack on your person, but the interpretation of your culture will take it that maybe because it's not my house. You know, there are things you say, oh, I don't want this thing here. I don't want it here. It's not your house. Yeah. They can give you back. That's what learning. They have dragged you on the ground. Yes. When you say, I don't like the way this TV is positioned, they say, is it your house? Then they have dragged you on the ground. Because you know the standard manly behavior. You're borrowing the place.
I disagree.
So it's a different thing if you, there's a thing about being a man, and many of our men culturally derive their confidence from ownership. You know, I own this house. I paid for your marriage. Like I am in charge. It's my place. I'm responsible. When you take that from him, then you must really be able to show it up in many other ways.
You now show it up. You are giving him house to move in. Then you now have to show up his life.
Nigeria.
People are very funny.
I just made your life easy for you, so that you can think.
Apart from making it easy, we're a team. That's one. Second, let's talk about this culture that we like to pick up, you know, once in a while.
Cherry pick.
Today we are Christians. Tomorrow we are cultural.
We are traditional.
So culture evolves as we evolve, and we understand. There are so many women now in their husbands' houses. They're the ones paying rent. They're the ones paying fees. So the only thing that in name he may be the one that owns the house, but everything to maintain that house, to get it running, a woman is already doing, and she's doing it with so much respect for that man. Why do we assume that because a man has moved into a woman's house, unless she's ordinarily that sort of rude,
naturally
ungrateful, you know, sort of person, she would not treat him that way just because she lives in his house? And we have those sort of men too that do it to women. Yeah. Because you live in my house, any small fight, they put your this in Ghana must go
and throw it out.
I heard that's not right to say that bag and throw the person out. Every two fights, every two minutes you fight, you throw the person out. But that does not say anything. It's not about the marriage. It's not about the institution of marriage or because that person's house. It's that person's personality. Yeah. And I believe that a woman who decides, a woman of a certain class, of certain wealth, decides to marry a man, there are a lot of thoughts that you put into it.
Mariam, thank you for taking us there. And I want us to address, I'll come to BC now. I want us to address the parts of family. So the man, A-B relationship, both of you might be able to work it out. When you have aunties coming over, mothers coming over, family members coming over, where they don't feel that freedom to, okay, this is my brother's house, I'm going to the kitchen, I'm having open in the fridge, I'm comfortable. They feel that, hey, let me just stay here before they go outside, you know.
Honey.
So that freedom family likes to have.
Honey.
This is our house, our home.
If you can't come to my house and be comfortable, stay in your house. I think it's time men need to stand up and create their boundaries. So I'm not marrying the whole village. I'm not marrying I'm marrying your family. And the fact that I've married you, I've married everything you're coming with. Okay. I've married your property. Any car you have before I married you as a man belongs to me. Right. It belongs to you. Everything I have from now onwards belongs to you also. Yeah. So we are a team. We are working together. It's ours. So if my family members want to come to the house and feel because it's the woman that, you know, owns this house, and they want to come and rub shoulder, please, you cannot cause confusion in my house. Me and my wife, we love each other. And if you cannot comport yourself, do not come. It's not by force.
Let me put the example. So she's my sister.
The two father-in-laws.
Yeah. So the two father-in-laws.
The two
father-in-laws are around in the guest room. You know.
But it's not rocket science. How are they doing now in a woman living in a man's house?
Exactly. How do they behave when they come?
The woman always that.
Because it's a man's house, that's not true. A woman who is submissive is submissive. A woman who has character has character. A woman who has ability to respect the man has that ability. Whether you are bringing in more or you're not bringing in more. Let's not allow society dictate to us how we want to run.
Right. I mean, let's Dr. Morayo, are you there? Hello?
Hello?
You're live.
Hello?
Go ahead, please.
This is Dr. Morayo, calling from Morayo.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead, please.
The truth is, every relationship, every experience, every reality differs. Yes. We don't all come from the same place. We don't see things the same way.
Yeah.
So, whatever, you can't compare or you cannot try to to compare your relationship with what works for other people. We are all different.
Yeah.
And our experiences in marriage are different. So, if it is what works for them, if it don't work for them, everybody should face their life. Everybody with their own cross, everybody should carry their cross with their relationship work and whatever. But I don't think, please, because this one was, and then tell your in-laws or tell your parents, please, as you're coming to my house, please, I don't want you to disrespect my husband, I don't want you to disrespect my wife.
Yeah.
Yes.
Please, show them in a loving way.
Exactly. Boundaries.
Not in a way that will aggravate conflict.
Right.
Tell them, and the husband too should tell the people, so that everybody will know their boundaries and their space.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Moyo. I've shared this story a million times on this show. That I attended a wedding. They didn't tell me I was at the wedding. They wore turquoise blue. That was their shabby. I will never forget. That day I was at Caverton. I don't want to give too many details.
No, just say the story.
If I'm not saying the story again.
No, but you said the story several times. I even know the story.
I didn't want to help out the story
because I'm trying to remember.
I was there and we had a great time. My mom was there. That night, the marriage scattered because the wife has a house in VGC. Husband lives in Idukweju, I think. And it was like, okay, we're all going to Idukweju. And wife said,
they didn't discuss before.
That day, they separated.
Please.
But maybe I'm sure afterwards, maybe eventually.
But they did not go home that day.
That night, there was issue. But maybe eventually they sorted it out. But that night, there was commotion because they couldn't decide whose house they're going to stay in at that night.
So I wanted to say that, please, we mustn't take away our culture and we mustn't take away our upbringing. Yes, we've westernized the beats. Yes, we want to modernize ourselves, but our nurturing wires into our head that the man takes care of the woman. So in most cases, even the most humble, like the one that the woman is very, very humble like this, if she's bearing the brunt of financial burden of the house, inside her, she will still feel like, the man should be the one to handle it. That's the truth that we must all acknowledge to ourselves. So women want to contribute. We don't mind contributing. But if we are carrying that burden, it would come up. You might not say it, but you will feel it. Sometimes you might just say it, or like unplanned, it will just drop from your mouth like that. It will jabber. So when we have cases where a man can do little things like, let me pay the rent. Just give me, let's rent out this your mansion. Give it to me.
Rent is not little in Lagos.
Bring this, your mansion is good, it's our resources. Let us rent it out. Pay it. Give me that. At a point, I'm able to, maybe over time, we'll move into this. I can do it. But for now, as I'm getting married, just let us live within my means for now. And it helps the man to get into that space.
So you say the woman should move into the man's flat.
Yes.
While he's able to. Okay, I'll come to you, Morayo. Let me take this call. Hello, are you there? Nkem?
I don't have you.
Hello?
Nkem, are you there? You're live.
Yeah, good morning, ladies.
Morning. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so much I appreciate the topic you guys are discussing
Can't
today.
hear him. Oof. Please, go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello?
Nkem, please go ahead. We can hear you. And please don't listen to your TV. Listen to me.
Yeah, I so much appreciate the topic you people are discussing this morning.
Right.
It is very, very, very important. It is very, very, very important in the sense that it has to do with families. Hello?
Hi.
We can hear you, Nkem.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Clearly.
Yes. Hello?
Sorry.
You are listening to the TV.
He's listening to the TV, that's why. I have to disconnect the call because you're listening to the TV. All right, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk about that culture that you keep referring to and westernization. That if we read the history of Western people, they had that culture of the man moves into the house. I mean, the woman moves into the man's house. The man takes care of the woman, you know. And time and circumstances has brought them to this point. That does not mean that even in the Western culture, they don't have where the man is the owner of a house and the woman moves in. But they also understand that when the circumstances that they find themselves, they have figured it out. Some of us will do 50-50. Some of them will do that the woman is able to provide more. Now, concerning paying the rent, come and stay with me. I don't think this, especially when we're not talking about that you live in a 2-bedroom and I live in a 1-bedroom. We're talking mansion to 3-bedroom. How many years rent are you hoping to
pay before you can get yours? Yeah, before you can do yours.
Before you not put the money towards what's building...
That comment is disrespectful to the man.
Wait.
I can take it as the man can take that as
let me finish. How many years? So this is disrespectful to the woman too if you think it's about let me pay this rent enough time so that I can build you a mansion. We're not competing on mansion here, mister. That is first and foremost. I'm marrying you because this is what you can. This is what I gain from you. You bring in your presence, your energy, many things. It may not be money. And that's the thing about men when they find themselves in a woman that, with a woman that has so much more. After all, sometimes it's not the woman, it's the woman's family that may have so much. And the man is finding his feet in that place. And he comes and he does things for that, his wife, provides things for her in a way that even money is not enough. He supports her business. He's her greatest cheerleader. Anything that she needs to do, he plugs all the holes. She doesn't even have any issues because she knows her husband has got it. So it's not about the rent and I'm living in a big house, you're living in a small house. The woman that decided that I want to be with you and marry you, knowing she has a mansion and you have a 3-bedroom.
Let me even add to your own bit. Is that you discountenance all the efforts a woman has made and bring it to naught.
Because of rent money. Because of rent money.
That to build this mansion. We don't say because I'm not going to get married. Now
because of
bring the status of marriage, bring it to the small apartment.
Because you
so
have
all
to
that
have
work
a
she's done all her life is nothing.
No, because we need to have a head.
The head is not the head of rent.
Let me take this call.
Head of many things.
Hello, good morning. Are you there? Joshua, are you there?
Good morning, I'm here.
It's not easy, I know. Hi, Joshua. Go ahead. You're live.
All right, first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm an addict fan of your View program.
Thank you, sir.
And today's topic is a very lovely one.
Thank you,
the
sir.
truth is, most times before marriage, there should be some discussions that need to be engaged in. You know, she agreeing to marry a man, you're agreeing to come to his own level. You're going to respect him as his person. It is fine. Then in the process of this discussion, there should be a means where you begin to say things that if my family comes, because definitely in Africa, we do this marriage of a thing where families are involved to an extent. So if they visit, how do we reason with them? How do we accommodate them? If it's in the man's house, you see how the man wants to push his people. If it's the woman's house, that thing will definitely come up one day if they don't have a concrete discussion about it. So some women, no matter how loyal they want to be, there's going to be a time where that human nature will spring forth. They'll say, it's my house. I choose who comes in. I do this. I do this. I just, you know, we are African. We are human. We should not overrule or we should not neglect that human nature sometimes.
Thank you very much. Let me take
that assumption is because we're Africans, our women are disrespectful when they are paying the bills. That's just what I heard. I think it's very wrong. I think we're having the assumption that she could have, you know, lured him or coerced him into coming into the house. What if it was the man's idea? That say, well, this is my 3-bedroom. I think I like your space more. Why don't we stay here for a bit? We don't know the conversations they've had. Why don't we stay here for a bit and see how things go? I can rent off that place or give it to one of my family members and let's work from here. Since most of your businesses are around here, it's easier for you. I can juggle. What if they had that conversation? And she was like, I don't want people to talk. He said, no, it's fine. We always want to attach confidence to the man's ability to provide, the man's ability to pay for rent, provide fees, provide small things. Not all men are that insecure. Some men, they will come with empty pockets and they know that they are the man. And they will assert their authority. You cannot tell me, I'm your husband. Your property is my... I married you. I married you. So you can't tell me this is my house. Get out. Except we are having a divorce or something. So some men need to work on their confidence and ask yourself, what is the long-term plan? What long-term plan do we have for the success of this family? Who needs to make what sacrifice? We need to have that conversation. And I had it when I was just starting. We need to make some certain sacrifices. Let me give you a very interesting and intriguing gist. When I was in the school accommodation, after a while, they had to move me inside girls' campus. My husband cannot stay alone. So he moved in with me. He will wake up early in the morning, around 2 a.m. to take his bath. Yes, to take his bath. so that nobody will see him in the bathroom. And then he will run inside. He did it gladly. He did not send anybody. People were gossiping me in school that, these ones, they don't have anything. At that time, they were gossiping me. I was bigger than most of them, but they didn't know. Humility was there. He was confident enough to know, I want to be with my wife. We have a plan. And today, that plan has materialized.
Yes.
So create your own culture and don't listen to what anybody has to say. It's your life.
Man like Uche is not common. So know yourself. Man like Uche is not common. Our husband's name is Uche. Man like Uche is not common. So know yourself.
Let me take Pastor Alabi from Edo State. Pastor Alabi, are you there? Pastor Alabi, are you there?
Yes, I'm with you.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think you are very intelligent, and I give kudos to TVC station by playing you guys. So you are too much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Topic, I think as a pastor, I'm learning seriously from you today. But there's one thing that is missing. You know, you are educated. It's not all women that are educated. Some women are not educated, and that character is there that what you don't expect that women can do, they will do it. So I have a similar experience even in my ministry today, in my church. The woman owns the house, the husband is living there, any little thing, pack up. So is this as I'm not telling you, I'm handling the case up right now. That's why this topic that somebody asked you to bring out this to.
Thank you very much, Pastor Alabi. Let me read this message. Thank you very much, Pastor. Let me read this message. This is a man. Hi, Morayo. I'm 57 years old. I've been married for 20 years. And the first 10 years of my marriage, I stayed in my wife's 3-bedroom flat. And it was tough. When we fight, sometimes she reminds me of the fact that I'm staying in her house.
Wow.
Today, I've been able to build a 5-bedroom house for us. I would not say I regret the first 10 years, but I know as a man, it gives me confidence and pride that I have my own house today.
That's bad. Because you can't take that out. And when BC shared that story, because I know her husband, man like Uche is not common. It's not common. There are not many. You know, it is, and so also women that would foot the bill at home and be humble. They are not common. The majority of women that foot the bill, they are proud. They are proud. Okay. They will throw it out. And the majority of men, when they are in the position where they have to depend on their wives, the majority of them they don't like it. It doesn't feel good. So when we talk about this topic, we must consider our ecology. Where are we? And how the majority of us, how are we brought up? Right. I wasn't brought up to be the one to pay the bills. I was brought up to expect my dad took care of my mom, and my husband should take care of me. So if I have to fill in the gap, I will do it. But my everyday prayer is, Oga, take over. Yeah. You know, so that's the reality of what we expect.
Let me take Favor and come to Mariam. Favor has been holding up. Don't worry. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Okay. My take on the issue is that confidence is inbuilt. It's supposed to come from within. Nobody builds your confidence for you. I don't see anything wrong with a man living with his wife as long as the wife is respectful and as long as the wife knows that he's her husband. A respectful woman is going to be respectful whether she bought the house or not. That is one. Then, can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly, Favor. Very.
Hello?
Can hear you.
Go ahead.
Okay, a woman is going to be respected whether she bought the house or not. Then a man, there are still instances of men that they built the house and then any small thing, when they have issues with their wife, they tell her, get out of my house. In fact, I'm sending you back to your father's house. It's a marriage. The two of them are supposed to be one. A couple is one. So whoever owns the house for everybody. Then the instance you gave, Morayo, about a man's family coming to the house and not feeling comfortable. There are families in Nigeria, that they know that the money comes from their brother's wife or from their wife, and they confidently spend the money, and they request for the money without thinking of her. So they believe that anything that belongs to their brother's wife belongs to their brother, so it belongs to them. So a family is going to feel comfortable no matter who owns the house.
Thank you very much, Favor. So if you are bad, you're inherently bad. It's not about
so
the
it's
situation.
not about,
Go ahead, Mariam.
So I just, Topo, you mentioned how it's not everyone that's like, not every man that is like Uche. but then we need to talk about the uches so that other men will learn, so that young boys who are watching will know that a man can still be a man while being this way, because we need to put that narrative that a woman would love and respect you, even when you find yourself in circumstances where you cannot handle some bills for a time. And when we talk about, and also I want to use this today to shout out to all the women that are holding down their homes.
Yes,
God, we have, whether we like it or not,
with humility.
Many Nigerian homes are held down by women. They are paying bills, they are paying rent, they're doing everything. They're even dressing the man up, and they do not talk about it, and they do not disrespect. Many of us even come from such homes. So many times when we talk about this issue and say, hey, a woman will call a man out, but you're forgetting the thousands and hundreds of thousands of women that are not calling any man out. And they are also praying and helping in supporting that man's business so that it gets to a point where he's able to pick up, take the burden of her. So the Nigerian woman is not a disrespectful woman. She's not a lazy woman. She's not a woman that is just looking for who to call out and who to drag. She's a woman that is willing to support her man. And we're also calling out to men. You can be a man and to be loved and respected even when the circumstances, it's just financial. What is finances? You will sort that, you will sort it out as long as you're focused.
In addition to that, you see, a woman will support a man who is ambitious.
Who has focus.
Who is working towards something. There are men who are couch potatoes. They don't want to, they are comfortable that, you're getting me, bringing in the cheddar, the cheese. Okay, you know what, I'm here. But for people like the husbands that we've seen, they try, they are working hard at it. They're not just saying, they're hustling. So for a woman to respect you wholeheartedly, even though she's bringing in the bills, you need to see that you're doing something. That you're working towards something, even though it doesn't materialize. The fact that you're working so hard at it, that in itself will make a woman humble.
So I should be praying for you. The ideal situation is the ideal situation is on ground. On one side, we know what the ideal should be. Man pays the bill, man owns the house, all of that. And when you find yourself in the other situation where you are having to depend on your wife in some areas, it shouldn't emasculate the man. Like, it shouldn't make him start feeling like, and one of the challenges, and I know the pastor alluded to it, that sometimes we read meanings because of our background. We're not dealing with the situation. We are giving it an interpretation based on our background. So you might say what, and in my head, what I heard is, what shut up when what you said was just what. So because I am carrying my own baggage of my mindset, so I'm not just listening to, so the girl might not be saying anything.
I will give an example. Let me take the Nnamdi. Are you there? Oh, Douglas, I do apologize. From Germany. Hi, Douglas. Hello, Douglas. Douglas, German network. Are you there, Douglas?
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
You can hear me. Go ahead, please. I can hardly hear you, though.
Yeah, my name is Douglas. I'm calling from Germany.
The volume is very low.
Interesting topic you're discussing now. One thing I see here is sexism. Sexism. Because, let's even go to the Bible. The Bible makes statement of marriage. It says, a man will leave the parents. The woman will leave the parents, and both of them will come together. It did not even say where they are going to. That two of them will join themselves. So whether it's the man that is having the house or the woman is having the house, it's inconsequential. The problem here is that the men always want to have a comfort zone, a place where they will a kind of control and dominate. So it's a problem for the man's complex, because they always want to control. So if they are going to the wife's house, and they lose that their comfort zone, that their control, that their dominance, and they are not able to tell the woman, hey, this is my house. They don't want it. So a man going to the wife's house is a kind of losing dominance, and it should be a problem that we should try to change. Orientation is what we need here. We should understand that the marriage is for the man and the woman, not the man to take control. Or the woman to be controlled.
Thank you. You see, I was going to give an example, because in the early days of my marriage, so my husband hadn't started working at the time, and I bought mangoes. I bought plenty mangoes, right? And I left in the house, I went to work. By the time I came back, my husband had finished all the mangoes. Oh, I was livid, because he wanted to eat mangoes. Now, I was mad because I wanted to come home. I had thought I bought mangoes, and I go now have for dinner. He finished it because he wanted to finish it. So we had a huge fight because he felt that I was making noise about it because I had the money to buy it. Is it because he was you that bought it?
That wasn't what...
And that wasn't it. So there was a huge fight over mango. I mean, this is the fight that my mother had to come in, everybody had to discuss. My mother had to be, mango fight. Let him eat it now. It's not just mango. You buy another one now. What's your problem?
But your one was like, it should have remained for me.
I bought a hair. I'm the man of the house. I finished the mango hair, so. But as a man of the house, he felt that he had that dominance to finish the mango because he's the man of the house. I was the person that bought the mango. I'm like, uncle, at least leave for me. So it's the ability to be not to play that the emotions of the moment. Like, okay, yes, he hasn't gotten a job yet. Yes, your husband is not yet there. He's working at it. But even you are the one bringing it. You must know how to play down that that feeling of I am the one that bought it.
And sometimes, I said something about the way we hear. What you say is different from what the person is hearing.
That's what I was trying to do.
So the person hearing, you might have said it in terms of why did you finish everything?
You should have kept
for me. Yeah. But what he heard was I bought it and you finished it.
Yes.
That's what he heard. That wasn't what you said.
Because I bought it. Yes.
So it's now a case of there's likely going to be that sensitivity if there is imbalance in income. So we now it will put pressure on the marriage if communication isn't strong and you talk out all the problems. It might start festering over time. So much that when the other person has money, you now say, when you had every small thing, you will say, I'm eating 3 meats, I'm eating 4 meats.
Well, buy a basket of mango today and say, but he'll just
eat your mango. So I think, when we mention culture is the man that's supposed to take care of the woman, and I'm wondering, are we Christians today now on this show, or we are now pagans, or I don't know our tradition today, because we pick our religion every day on the show depending on the topic. But I remember the Proverbs 31 woman. She was hardworking. She did everything. Her husband would sit at the gate and be drinking and be collecting praises because of the work of the wives. And I remember that when God blessed, he blessed them male and female. So once you come together as a marriage, under the covenant of marriage, the blessing is on both the two of you. Anybody's own can pick first. Whoever's own picks first, the other person should be supportive. The other person should understand and find a way to carry that one along till their own blessing picks. So there is no way. No, hold on.
Let me tell her.
There is no way. There is no way. God said, I have commanded the woman to sit at home and you just be working and taking care of her. God bless male and female. Anyone whose blessings speak, the other person should support that one.
The Jews have a way of their own Christianity, where they've been able to marry their culture
with their religion.
So
it's their own religion.
So our own culture too.
Where's our religion?
Our own culture too would marry into our religion.
Which religion? Which one?
You choose the one, because there's Islam, there's Muslim. You choose the point I'm trying to make is that whether we like it or not, there's a Christian, there's a Chinese Christian. There's a German Christian.
Their culture.
That is married with their culture. So there's no culture in that Bible. It is the culture that we now
there's a Nigerian Christian.
Yes,
based on our culture. Religion, there's something my pastor said. Please, let me just, it's a quote, said that no matter how Christian you are, if you have a bad culture and a bad environment, it will trump the Christianity in you. That is why in Nigeria, born-again Christians are stealing, they are going to church, they will finish praying and go outside and do bad roads because the culture is bad. So I know that we need to upgrade some of our culture, but we cannot suddenly start isolating the religion and say, oh, this is religion, this is culture. We must find a way to marry
the Nigerian culture
to go back
to Christianity.
To the point of communicating, especially when a man feels maybe he's being slighted because he's not the one paying the bills. And I think that also happens in the other way around, where a wife feels, oh, so we are not moving to this, we are not buying this house because it is you that has this house.
Money.
Or my children cannot go to this school because you're the one that's paying the fees, right? And then you make the money, and then every time a man makes a decision, you counteract it. You are not ready to buy the car, I'll buy it. And then, many of us we have encouraged that. In fact, we have, we've given a thumbs up. Like, yes, if you are refusing to do it, the woman can come in and do it. So now the shoe is on the other foot. We're now able to see that it's a lack of communication, that the woman thinks that once she becomes empowered, her going ahead of the man to do everything, just to slight him or to show to him that even I have arrived. So that it is the same for the man. You find yourself in a situation like this. It is not necessarily about what you can provide or the fact that you're not providing, but, like in your case, it's just about leave some for me. We're in this together. It's just mango, but I would like to have a little piece. Look at this tiny. There's sometimes they say the way you can even tell if a man loves you is that his last piece of meat he will give you half. So that was the communication. That was the conversation. Yeah, that was the conversation that you were having, but it wasn't about bills. So a woman, when she finds herself in that situation, when a man is doing all the things, and then she finds herself, she's become empowered, she also needs to understand that communication must continue.
You know,
just showing up.
Sounded like a lot of
You know, there was a movie, there was a black American movie, I think either The Brotherhood or Not Waiting to Extend, one of those movies, where he left the last piece of cake. And she was like, that's love, you know. All right, what
so we have, I'm trying to get this. Engineer Toby Martins.
Beatrice said, it would be nice if you're capable, and Toby Martin said, no man in Nigeria is ever comfortable with a woman in a woman's house because it reduces the pride of a man, though it is not easy. Mariam, the majority of women that will not drag a man out there are very, very small. Hybe Samuel says, there is no Proverbs 31 woman, no. It was a question in the Bible, who can find one? So
and they used it to illustrate a very long thing. Most things are questions in the Bible.
Leave this Bible, let's discuss real life.
So Pastor Boyewa is facing BC. He said, BC, you forgot that God put the man in the Garden of Eden to direct it and keep it. And it's the duty of the husband to take care of the wife and family. But somebody else is saying, BC, you are talking, no jare.
If your wife has a 7-bedroom mansion, so what we're saying is that you should forfeit that and move in with you at the 3-bedroom.
No, what we're saying is, if the man is uncomfortable and he feels he has a family that will put him under a lot of pressure, really, he should have that conversation with his wife and find a middle ground. Maybe they will turn the 7-bedroom mansion into a business and they will live in a 3-bedroom.
Hold on, please. For me, he's not a man. If you're considering what your family will say in the life you want to live.
You're a man.
No, you cannot see that. You're not isolated now.
I think you're a man. But maybe you should also reconsider marrying someone who is of greater means than you. If you cannot handle it, go and marry the one that you can handle.
Exactly.
Simple and short. Nobody's forcing you to marry someone that has much more money than you do.
We have to wrap up, ladies. I know it wasn't easy taking that side of the story. Thank you very much for bringing that angle to us. We have to run.
I just want to say, no marriage works without communication. And reduce the communication that each couple is having with external forces. And focus, let decisions be carried out by communications between the two main parties in marriage. Both husband and wife should not let what my mommy said, what my daddy said, to be the one influencing decisions within marriage. It should be between the two of you.
Sometimes not even mommy and daddy, is what my friends are saying. Don't bother.
You know, it's not easy when your friends just come to the house and you know that all the boys are coming to your wives, all the boys are coming together and it's your wife's house. You know, there's a way you
it's the way they're jealous of you. Yes. They wish they had that. Even my husband says, Mary, I cannot wait for it to start making boys so I can just chill. I mean, men want to chill.
Okay, on that note, we end the show. Thank you, ladies. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.